Hey, what is up, guys? I just wanted to talk to you very briefly about something the Lord has been dealing with me about. Man, if you can't already tell by the title of this video, it is comparison. Man, God had to get me together real quick because your girl was in a place of just feeling extremely frustrated and just comparing my life with other people. I don't know if you're like me, and I hate that I do this. But I tend to compare my life and my journey with other people, and and in turn I get so frustrated with where I am in life, and it feels like nothing's fully completed and that everything's in process. And I was just having this moment with God where I was just sharing with him just how frustrated I feel. Like nothing seems to be going right, and that's not true. There are things that are going right, but sometimes you just feel how you feel in the moment. And all of that. So I was just having like a pity party and comparing myself again to other people's journey and their progress. And it doesn't feel like I'm progressing at the same rate as other people. And why is that, God, if you love me? All this stuff, like all the drama. But I found myself comparing myself, and the Lord took me to this scripture in John 21. And Jesus had just reappeared to his disciples after being resurrected. And he talks to Peter and he tells them, he asked Peter 3 times, he says, do you love me? And by the 3rd time, Peter's like, Jesus, of course, I love you. Like, why you keep asking me this question? But each time he asks him that question, he gives him an instruction. And he says, feed my people, take care of my people, feed my, make sure that they're taken care of, feed my people. And just thinking about this story, Jesus gave Peter an assignment. And shortly after, Peter turns to the other disciple. He looks at the other disciple, and John's gospel says the disciple who Jesus loved, which is kind of like a major eye roll. Like John describes himself as that, but it's also beautiful because he knew the love of God. But he turns to Jesus and he goes, what about him? What about John? Like, what about him? And I love and kind of hate Jesus' response, because he's like, if I wanted John to remain alive, like, what is that to you? What is that to you? And it got me thinking, like, Jesus, it's not like Jesus didn't care about Peter or about his question, but it was more so like, why are you comparing yourself with John? I have given you an assignment. I told you, I have given you not only an assignment, but a mission and a purpose. What you were supposed to be doing. Feed my people, make sure that my people are taken care of. That is a huge responsibility, a huge honor, a major duty. I've given you purpose. I've given you that assignment. And you're over here worried about John. You're over here worried about someone else. You're over here comparing your life to someone else. Why are you doing that? And the reality is that God he's big enough to be good to all people, not just to you. And so he had a mission and an assignment for John too, but he also had one for Peter. And just thinking about that story and like, wow, like God has something for you. I don't ever have to compare myself. You don't ever have to compare yourself to anyone else, because the reality is, what God has for you is for you. God has something. He has something so incredible that he wants to do in your life, that he wants to fulfill in your life. And you can really miss out and become so distracted on what's not going right. Maybe you feel like you're not progressing at the same speed or the same rate as someone else is, and whatever. God has certain timing for everything. And so whatever he said over your life is going to come to pass. It's going to happen. God's not a liar. Whatever he spoke over you, whatever he put inside of you, all that will come to fruition. But you do not ever need to compare your life, your journey, your progress with somebody else, because what he has for you is for you. God is faithful to you. He will be faithful to you. All you need to do is to continue to trust him, to continue to put all of your trust and hope in him, and be obedient. Walk in his ways. Do what he's calling you to do. Because just like how he had a mission and an assignment for Peter, he has one for you too. He absolutely has a hope and a future for you. So this is for everybody who is in a place where they find themselves comparing themselves with other people's journey, other people's walk, and they feel so frustrated by everything. You name it. It could be anything. Maybe you're a business owner. You feel like your business is not progressing at the speed of someone else's business. Maybe you are in a place where I don't know, may not be, you want marriage or you want a relationship, and someone else, other people have a relationship and you don't have, whatever it is, God has an assignment for you. God has a mission for you. God has a purpose for you. God has something that he is going to fulfill that's so major in your life, and don't waste time comparing yourself to other people. Lastly, I want to say this, that I've heard this statement a few times, that comparison is the thief of joy. And truly, it is. Like, if you spend time comparing your life to other people, it's going to rob you of the joy that God has available for you to not just receive, but to walk in today. Don't waste your life. Don't waste any more time. Do not waste a single day or moment comparing yourself to someone else. You are beautifully, wonderfully, and fearfully made. And whatever God has said he's going to do over your life, he's going to do it. So continue trusting him. I hope this video encourages you. I love you.